How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to 2A News Now. And if you're new to the channel, my name is Troy. And as always, I appreciate everybody that supports the channel. Late last week, I posted a video about a new proposed bill in Congress called the Shush Bill. And if passed, it would make it so suppressors were no longer part of the NFA or the GCA. There would be no $200 tax stamps. There would be no background checks. They would be treated just like any other gun accessory. And if you haven't watched that video yet, I'll leave a link at the end of this video and it'll take you straight to that. Now there's been a new bill introduced, and it's called Reining in Federal Licensing Enforcement, also known as the Rifle Act. And the bill is designed to protect FFLs from overzealous ATF agents, especially when it came to Joe Biden's zero tolerance policy. And as some of you will say, just before Biden left office, they did away with the zero tolerance policy. But if this bill passes, this would ensure that this would never happen again under any other president. And the person that is sponsoring this bill is a representative from Kansas, and his name is Tracey Mann. During the Biden administration, they revoked the licenses of over 250 FFLs. And in his state alone in Kansas, they revoked 20. And he regards that as an attack on the Second Amendment, as well as the firearm industry, because Biden weaponized the ATF. And of course, we don't want that to happen again. And here's what Representative Mann had to say. President Biden did everything in his power to weaponize the federal government against gun store owners. In the big first district of Kansas and across the country, his zero tolerance policy undermined the Second Amendment and trampled on the constitutional rights of law-abiding citizens. Since day one, I've rigorously pushed back against this unconstitutional policy and fought for more oversight to rein in ATF's abuse. In 2024, we saw the largest number of FFL holders' licenses being revoked in the past 20 years. Representative Mann also went on to say, the Second Amendment is a load-bearing wall in our system of rights. If you weaken the load-bearing wall, the entire structure is compromised. The 500% spike in FFL revocations under President Biden is unacceptable, and it's indicative of the president's larger strategy to chip away at the Second Amendment rights of law-abiding citizens. And what we're talking about here is revoking FFL's licenses just for minor paperwork errors, which is just absolutely ridiculous. Before the zero tolerance policy, if after a visit the ATF found some minor paperwork errors, they were just given a warning. Since Donald Trump has been in office, he's been extremely busy closing down our southern border, as well as working extremely hard to keep promises he made. So we don't know for sure right now what is the timeline for reining in the ATF. The one big thing was that Stephen Dettelbach resigned. So that's a good thing. But of course, like a lot of other agencies in the government, some of the old guard is still there. And of course, it would help if we had a new director of the ATF. And also remember, not too long in the past, there wasn't a director of the ATF for years and years until that idiot Dettelbach came along. So we really have no way of knowing whether the ATF has stopped their zero tolerance policy, unless we hear from an FFL that has recently been revoked because of minor paperwork errors. So that's why it's very important for this bill to go through into Congress and to be passed. Because like I said earlier, if the bill passes, it would stop any other president from instituting a zero tolerance policy like Biden did. As always, I would really like to hear your thoughts about today's video in the comment section. And if you enjoy videos like this, and if you also want to help the channel out and help it to continue to grow, I just ask you guys just to take a few seconds of your time to like, share, and subscribe and hit those post notifications. I really would appreciate it. And I invite all of you to come back and watch my next video.